a journey in Power Platform. What is Power Platform? Why do we use Power Platform? And where do we use Power Platform? As we all know, development or creating programs at the first introduction of computers and the world of technology was only for professionals. As you remember, or you know, or you don't know, at the early starts of development, the persons who needed to develop or create any application, whether it was simple or whether it was complicated, needed to have some what we call basics of learning, because it was really hard and it was boring, because developers needed to talk to the computer, because whenever you need to write an application or do anything with the computer at the early start, you needed to have some basic knowledge, which looked very boring, because it had only text, no graphics, no user interface, no simple or friendly user interfaces. Microsoft was a leader in that. It created what was called the graphical user interface. It created it to make it more friendly with users. So it started with friendly operating systems. And with the days, with development, and with more technologies added to computers, even development or creating a program was made easier for users who do not have a basic or real basic information in development, or advanced or more complicated knowledge in development. So they had to create what was called simple or no code or low code environments. And Power Platform is one of these platforms that Microsoft created for us. So in simple words, Power Platform is a platform that enables people who do not have or have few experience with coding to develop their own applications. What size of application they can develop? They can develop small size or even medium size or enterprise size applications using the Power Platform. Power Platform is a low code or no code environment. That is what's good about Power Platform. I will turn off my camera now, and we will be starting the overview of Power Platform. So as I told you, when we need to talk about Power Platforms, we will be talking about what are the main components and features of Microsoft Power Platforms. We'll know how or what is the value of using Microsoft Power Platforms to create, as I told you earlier, personal solutions or maybe business solutions. So with Power Platform, even if you do not have the ability or the enough knowledge to create applications, with Power Platforms and the tools that are incorporated and the artificial intelligence that will help you creating your own business solutions, it will be much easier for you. We'll also be talking about how can we leverage Microsoft different solutions with the products, with different Microsoft products with Power Platform. So let's jump in and know the main components of Power Platform. As you see here, we have 5 main components of Power Platform. So Power Platform, using these components, provides us a very fast, low code or no code environment for building our application for business or for our own personal needs. It is a suite of application development service with scalable data platform, which means that it is scalable, it can scale up or scale down, and gives you the ability to interact with cloud or on-premise data sources. What do we mean by that? Even if I have the data sources for my applications within my on-premise, or whether it was to be connected to a source of data that is on the cloud, Power Platforms gives you these abilities. So you can develop applications with data sources that are within your computers, your own computers or servers that are within your own on-premise, on your location, locally we call it, or you can have resources coming from the internet or from the web. So you can just link your solutions or your applications or the data or the program that you are creating with data connectors, as you can see here. Even if these data are on your computers locally, or whether you can take a lot of connectors that are available. Maybe you are creating an application for weather, so you can connect your application using the data connectors to connect to any website that provides weather information, and you can display them on your own environment or on your own application that you are developing for yourself. Maybe you're going to have other connectors coming from Wikipedia, coming from Google, coming from different sources. All you need is the data connectors so you can create your own application. Coming to the applications or the tools that you have, we have the Power BI, which is a data analyst tool. You have the Power Application. It is the place where you can create your own applications. If you need to have an automated process or processes, you can use Power Automate. That will help you also create automation within your own application, or maybe website or Power Pages that you are creating. So we have till now the Power BI, we have the Power Apps, and we have the Power Automate. Adding to the power of what I talked about, we have the Power Virtual Agents. You can create your own chatbot and implement it within your application to do things or answer questions or be like a support, online support that is available 24 hours, all the days of the week and all the days of the month, and this will apply to all the days of the year. So the Power Virtual Agent is like a support technician or a support secretary or whatever type of or level of virtual agents you want to have. You can create your own virtual agents within a short time, as I told you, because the Power Platform is a very fast tool that creates things very easily. And you can create the virtual agent to answer, maybe to guide users using the application, or maybe to answer questions of how can I do this or how can I do that, or maybe give the location. And sometimes if we are creating advanced virtual agents, you would be feeling that you are talking to a human. So the more topics, the more files, the more knowledge you give to your virtual agents while creating it, you can have a powerful agent that will answer and also can guide to perform everything needed. Power Pages is like a solution for creating Power Pages, like the pages of the internet. And we also have the AI Builder and the Dataverse. The AI Builder is an artificial intelligence solution builder which goes beyond the automation. It can be created or it can be added to your applications in order to use the OpenAI services, which are like the view, which is the ability to see, the ability to analyze, the ability to convert from pictures, from still pictures to text and analyze this text. So whenever we talk about the AI builder, it will be explained during tomorrow's session, but use it as or imagine it as an artificial intelligence solutions that you can implement within your application. And I will give you during the sessions some examples or practical examples about that. All that will be added also to Dataverse, which is like a database management system. And more than that, I don't want to talk about things that might confuse you. Just see it for now like it is the place that holds your information. And whenever we go through more deeper to within our course, you will be understanding everything about what I'm talking about. So we use the first component we'll talk about is the Power Apps. Power Apps, as I told you earlier, gives you the ability to create applications. It is a very easy environment that gives you solutions that are already built in by others, and it has templates that gives you some templates about most used applications or solutions, and you can also create your own application. It has the services, the connectors, and the data services like I told you about, which was the Dataverse, and it also allows simple integration and interaction with the data that are existing or with the new tables or with the new environments or the new connectors that you are going to create. We use Power Apps to create web applications, create websites, and also we create them to create web, or we call it application, simple application. We have different types of applications that we can create. We're going to talk about them. So whenever people use these applications in their lives and business, it should be easier for you and know how to, and you will be having the ability to create these applications for daily use, for the environment or for the company you are working in. Power Apps, as I told you earlier, has a very simple interface. I will just jump to the Power Apps interface in order to break the ice. As you can see here, just confirm to me that you can see my screen. Okay, this is the interface of Power Apps. As you can see here, we have this interface that we have the left pane that has the home page. This is the home page. Here I can just simply create a new application. I just press on create. It will take me to choices. How can I create or what sources I can use? As you can see here, I have a blank application. I have a Dataverse. I have a SharePoint. I can create application from Excel. And also you can see here that you have a video that will teach you how to start creating these applications. Okay?
Sorry
Yes?
to interrupt, because we can see only the presentation.
Okay, sorry for that. Let me
No worries.
just see why is that. Okay. What about now? Can you see the website?
Yeah, we can still see the presentation. PowerPoint presentation.
Can you see anything now? I stopped the sharing. Can you see anything? It should be.
We cannot see. We cannot see
Okay.
anything.
Let me share again the screen. How about now?
Still the presentation. Just make sure, Antonio, you're sharing the whole screen, Khalid.
Yes, I am. Just give me a second.
Sure.
Oh, okay. My mistake. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. Don't worry about it. Yes, now we can see your full screen.
Okay. Now let me show you. Okay, now I guess it's.
Yes, now it's visible. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, my mistake. So as you can see, this is the interface of Power Platform. How do I log in to Power Platform? I would say I will type make.powerapps.com. This is the place where I make the application. So it is starting with make.powerapps.com. In order to have the ability to log into this page, you should have a Microsoft account. It will give you a trial version that you can use and try and experience the ability to create applications, to create automations, and can do whatever that you want. So this is the URL address. I press on make or type make.powerapps.com and press enter. Since I already have an account, it will take me to the home page of Power Apps. As you can see, this is the main page of Power Apps. Here are the main components. At the left side, home is the place where we are now. Create, where we can create an application starting from a blank application, Dataverse, SharePoint, Excel. As you can see here, we have the tutorial video for each of them. I can also go with SQL, and I have different things with these applications. As you can see, we have here some templates that are used. We have all the templates are presented, or we can go with Office, and we might try our luck by searching for any application that we might be using. Here, I can take this template and customize it for my own self. We also have the Learn. The Learn will give you the knowledge related to how to create applications, what type of applications we have. We might have the Canvas apps that are mainly used with mobile phones or tablets. We can go with model applications, or we can go with Power Pages, or whatever we need. We can here study or learn about, because of course you would need additional learning, additional reading, and you can go with the Learn path that will be guided through Microsoft Learn. It will give you points for that and badges whenever you finish any of the levels you are going through. Here we can see the applications that we have already created. As you can see, here I already created some applications. Here, when we talk about tables, these tables that are ready for you to use in any application that you want. As you can see here, this is the database that I was talking about. Here are the ready-made tables. We have hundreds of tables that we can use. If you press on all, you can see that we have a lot of tables that we can be using within our environment or within our application. What is the benefit of this? As we all know, to create an application, whatever type of application, how small, medium, or big this application is, it needs a place to store its information. Like if we are creating a simple contacts application, In a simple contacts application, I might need to add information about the contacts that I have, like the name of the contact, the date of birth, the number, the phone of the number of the phone, the address, the work type, whatever information I might need. Let's see here if we have something close to that. Okay, this is the table of contacts. As you know, creating this application needs a place to hold the data. This place would be a table. This is the best place to create or to store information in. Like exactly whenever you create this table in Excel, you go to Excel and create a table, a simple table to start adding the contacts that you have, maybe your friends, maybe your colleagues, your customers, your suppliers. So you might need a table to create in Excel and Word, whatever you would need that. So to create an application, you need a table. To make it easier for you, Dataverse has created a table that contains tons of fields that you might be able to use. As you can see here, we have the basic information like the full name, the email, the company name, and the business phone. And I also can add up to 12 to 218 more fields. So if I press here, you cannot imagine what the number of fields that you might be using. So it would be just by using the fields that you want or checking the fields that you might need. And this is related to address, this is related to age, the children's name, everything that you might need, you can find here. All you have to do is to save. And your table now is the fields are added to your table, and you can start using this table in any of the applications you are going to create within Power Platform or Power Apps platform or Studio. So after that, we'll talk about the flows. This is what is called automations. Here's where you can create the flows or automations. And we also here we have solutions, which is a bigger area that contains applications with automations, with different things that are available. These are the solutions. It's more like a more advanced than a simple application you are going to create. Pressing on more, you can see the other components that you can use in Power Platforms. As a reminder, I told you about something called the connectors. Let me explain the connectors or the connections for you in a simple way. Now, again, with the presentation. You can't see the presentation. Okay, so getting back to the presentation, as I have shown you, this was the portal of or the environment where you can create different types of applications like as you can see here, we can have things built on our mobile phones or on our tablets or in our screens. So I have different options for different applications that can be used within mobile phones or within our desktops, and we can create also on our tablets, and it could be on both, available on both, on a website and on our own tools or computers or servers. So I can build highly customized applications. I can generate immersive model-driven apps, and I can consume fully accessible application across, as I told you, both the web and the mobile. So we have the ability to use both of these. Another feature we talked about was the automation. Automation allows users to create what we call automated workflows between applications and also between services. It helps automating repetitive business processes such as communication data or data collection and decision approvals. As you can see here, the example is like about something like an approval. Let's say that we have a daily approval or daily approvals task that we create daily, and we might need to do it repetitively. All we need to do is to design the solution that we want and create it within Power Automate. We use the Power Automate to automate this process. It is no more needed to waste important hours on our drafting the same email or the same approval or the same task that we do daily. All we have to do is to create an automated process, and this process will be passing through the phases that we want. So let's imagine we are going to get an approval through an email. What happens first is that I receive the email. This email will be taken to the decision maker. This decision maker or makers will see, read, and approve the email. And after that, it will be maybe signed or asking for more information or asking for more paperwork or maybe asking for more files. And it also will be responding to the others. And we can use what we call approval procedure that we can do and create within Power Automate to automate everything we do on our business or in our daily tasks. So automate makes it easier for us to automate or to do what we do repetitively. We do it within the Power Automate. It has simple design process. It can be understood easily and can be sequenced like the same real life scenario process that you are doing. It has what is called the trigger. The trigger is the action that makes this automation starts. We have different types of automations. I will show you that, but main component that makes this automation start is the trigger. What the trigger might be is it might be an email coming from an external or an internal user. It might be a new record created within my application. For example, I want to create an automation that extracts information from incoming email, and this information will be taken directly to a table and stored within that. So I can create an automation that will be triggered with an email action when an email is received, or here can see when an email arrives. The process will be go and create a field or a column or a record in a new table. All I need to do is to decide what is the table or which is the table that I want to store the information coming from this email. I have the ability to store the object or the subject of this email, the components of the email, the attachments that are coming with this email, and I can also decide if I want to separate or split these incoming attachments within this email into different folders that I have within my business OneDrive or my personal OneDrive. So what is called the trigger is the action that makes it run. After that, when it is stored in that folder. I would ask also the automation to send a copy of this file, maybe to the manager, to the personnel, to the persons, or to the emails that I have within my environment. They will read it and accept it and forward it to another one, and it will be following the sequence until it reach the approval or the denial. I simply can do that one time, design that one time, and will be used for as long as I want forever. This will surely make time, effort less for everyone. Okay, we can also use the Power BI, which is an analytics tool that delivers insights about my data. If I have tons of data, like I have a university or I have thousands of students that I keep data about their personal information, about their the results they get in each subject they are learning. We have different classes, we have different materials, like we have math, like we have science, whatever. So I have tons of information and they are stored in an Excel database, maybe, or in, let's say, in any other database management system. We have the Excel, we have the SQL, we have Oracle, we have different sources. Looking at numbers and tables is sometimes boring for non-technical persons. So if I need to draft a report to my manager, I would prefer to make it like these reports that are here in bars, in lines, or in a graphical interface. And I would need sometimes to create, as you can see here on this dashboard, we call it a dashboard, we can have these views, or you can see here we have here numbers, here calculated numbers, we have bars, we have pies, we have lines. So all these are a way to represent data that has been analyzed. Maybe who was the best student in computer classes, what was the highest grade that he took or she took. Maybe I need to have a count of the students that passed this year and the ones who failed this year. And maybe I have different statistical things that I might need. So Power BI is the place that will analyze this information and will show them in a graphical interface, which is called the dashboards. So this, in simple words, Power BI is the interface or the place where I can work with my information or with my data in order to analyze this data and make it representable in a dashboard method. Okay, is that clear for all? So in addition to all what I have said before, I now have the Power Chat bots, powerful chat bots. Chat bots enables you or enables anyone to create powerful chat bots using a guided, no-code graphical interface. So you have an interface that enables you to create a chat bot. This chat bot will have the ability to answer questions, will have the ability to deliver or support methods of solving or going through a process. It eliminates the gap between subject matter experts and the development teams building the chatbots. This is the main thing about it. It is very easy to create, to teach, and to make available for clients in order to see or work with or answer their questions related to main topics and main steps in doing or performing any task. So simply, a Power Virtual Agent is like an employee that is always available within your application or within your website. What does this employee do? This employee can be just answering simple questions, or also I can make it more advanced to answer questions and send guidance to clients in order to do this or to do that. This is what makes it easier and for us to give support like an IT team. So instead of making an employee from the IT team answer all the questions of the clients, and maybe these questions are all the same, all I have to do is to study what answers I always deliver to the clients that they are asking. Take it from the back way. So what are the questions that I'm always answering for most of the guests or the users or the employees within my environment? This question might be related to any subject. So I create a virtual machine, sorry, a virtual agent that has all the answers that I already know, and I create these answers for these users. Let me show you something here, and I hope you will be seeing my screen. Can you see it now? Okay, here, as you can see here, how do I log? First, let me take you to this Power Apps. As you can see here, we have the Power Agents. So in the home page of Power Apps, as you can see, it is make.power apps. Here I have the Power Agents. When I press on the Power Agents, it will take me to the same screen that is here. Here it is ready. This is the screen that is ready. Here you can start creating a topic. Let me see if it started. Okay. Here I have this virtual agent that is ready and working. I can simply create a new Copilot. This is the new name of the virtual agent that is called new Copilot. It's now not Power Virtual Agent, it is now Power Copilot. All you need to do here is to give it a name. 1 second. Okay, sorry again. So all you need to do is to give your Copilot or your virtual agent a name. As you know, we have Siri and we have different famous Copilots. You can give it any name. Let's say it is customer support agent. What is the language that you want to need? Customer support agent. As you can see here, we have different languages you can use in order to use with your application. Then you will press on create. So the first thing you should apply or give to your virtual agent is the topic. Simply, the topic is the file where it will be taking the answers from. Okay, this is the place, or this is the place where it takes answers from. So this is what is the topic. Let me take the screen back. As you can see here, it will be guiding you how to create your virtual machine, I always say virtual machine because I train about that a lot. So here is a one that I have already created for you. This is the design of creating a chat bot or a co-pilot. Now, I'm sorry, I said chatbot or a virtual agent, because these are different names for the same technology that you will be seeing. We have chatbot, we have virtual agent, and now a new term is co-pilot. Here is the answer, the topic. This is the topic I have created. What is your product list is a question, or if I write products, or if I write what do you sell. Here I started a virtual agent in order to decide what topic it would be, the answering source of that virtual agent. Excuse me if I say virtual agent. So when I ask you a question, let us make it between us as humans. When I ask you, what is your name? You would be going directly to the place in your mind that includes your name, because you will be expecting more questions related to your personal data. So if you are an interview, and the first part of the interview would be the introduction of yourself. So you would be preparing in your mind the topic related to your personal information. So you would be taking answers like, what's your name? How old are you? Maybe what's your education level? What's your business? What's your level of business or expertise? So this is the topic I'm talking about, your personal life. Here I created a topic that is related to what do I sell. So in order to trigger or make the chatbot go to this topic, I need to give it triggering questions. Like if you say hi, it will be going to the topic related to personal information. But if I say, what do you sell? Or what is your production list? Or whatever. So the answer would directly be triggering this type or this topic exactly. Let me show you the test bot. I would say restart first. Unable to connect. Thank you. These are the co-pilots that I have. I will rerun it again. Oh, this I didn't save, maybe. This thing I didn't save. I would go with the built-in chatbot co-pilots. I would go with Alex and show you how it works simply. Okay. I'm just trying to show you things simply. Just give it some seconds. So this is the copilot that we are creating. Let's just add some things for this copilot and test it. Okay. So these are this is the chatbot. As you can see here, when you go to topics, you can create your own topic and start building the conversation you are going to do with your chat. Okay, we have some built-in topics. We will be doing an exercise about that, or you can create your own topic. As you can see here, we have the goodbye, we have the greetings, which are the hi. Let's see that on practice in order so that you can understand it. As you can see here, these are the triggering phrases of the topic that is called the greeting. Let me allow that. So whenever I say good afternoon, good morning, hello, hey, or hi, it will be starting this virtual agent or this copilot. So let's select any of these. I would say, hi. Look here, what will happen when I say hi. Okay, as you can see, it moved to the next step that was already created or managed. So this is the question or the message that will be displayed after I run the trigger, which was the hello message. It would be saying, hello, how can I help you? Okay, I can change that and add, okay, a message. I can add an image. I can add whatever that I want. Okay, so hi, it's me. Let's say Sarah. How can I help you? Okay, I need to save and restart again the agent. I just press restart. Yes, I am sure. I would say hello. Since I have all these, again, as you can see, I edited that chatbot and I asked it, hi, I'm Sarah, how can I help you? And I can add more questions, more answers for that conversation, like what do you sell, what do you do, whatever that you want. So in simple steps, I can create a smart chatbot. Its smartness depends on the feed that you give to your chatbot. I will allow you to ask any questions before I proceed. Is that clear? Was everything till now clear and obvious? Do you have any questions before we move on? We can use double language or only we have to choose one and create two applications regarding, you mean in chatbots? If you mean in chatbots, you can create, yes, you can create more than one language, and you can create the trigger to be the one that will choose the chatbot that you want. So you can integrate more than one chatbot and create the trigger as, let's say, if I say Assalamu alaikum, it will be going to the Arabic chatbot. If not, if I say hi or hello or hey, it will be going to the English. Maybe if I say bonjour or comment ça va, it will be going to the French chatbot. So we can use any chatbot language that we want. Of course, we should create the 3 chatbots, and we can trigger the chatbot that we want with our application at the beginning of the conversation, or maybe we can give a question or display a question that what language do you prefer? So it will select the English, the French, the Arabic, the Korean, the Japanese, the Indian, whatever language that you want. So, but it will have to be built from zero, each and every one of these chatbots. Any other questions? We have, if you like, we have 5 minutes for questions before we start the. If you don't, let me go on. So I guess no more questions till now. So I will get back to the presentation. Power Pages, as I told you, can create applications, or as it is like something a secure enterprise grade low-code software as services. It's a SaaS, solution as a service platform, for creating hosting and administering external facing business websites. It's like for creating websites. This is the place where you can create pages for your websites where they are connected to your internal business, or whether you are a low-code coder or a maker or a professional developer, you surely need for your applications or for your services or for whatever applications you are delivering, you need a page on the web that will be interacting with the users coming to this web page or to your business web page. So to create web pages, of course, there are tons of other solutions, but integrated within Power Platform, we have the Power Pages. These are the pages that you are showing or interacting with users through your applications or your business website. So you create these pages to integrate the programs, the applications, or the things that you have created within your Power Apps or Power Solutions. As I told you earlier, we have the Dataverse, which I explained for you earlier. What is Dataverse? Dataverse is a data service and application platform which allows users to store data securely, as I told you, having the data prevention loss, having the actions or the abilities they can do with information or with data or with tables, which means that we have different levels of users. We have the creator or the owner. We have the people who can collaborate with this information. They can see only, no, they can see and edit. They can see and edit and delete. So these are the collaboration levels that you can give for the users. Maybe you want to split the employees within your company into different levels. People who can see, people who can read, people who can edit, people who can be like an additional administrators. All these, instead of using the other security or compliance or security applications, all these are built in with Dataverse. Of course, let's just be clear. It doesn't mean that I do not use the compliance and security. We should do that when we create the users, but what makes us much safer is that the database includes such things in addition to the data prevention loss technology. Okay? Here is a presentation of the start of creating any application. We need to have what is called the data and the services. The first thing we start by is the data and services. We can have data coming from different resources. Let me make it simpler for you. Now we are going to have what is called an application. How do we think, or what is the methodology to use when we are creating an application? The first thing is the data that we need to use or to collect within this application. As you can see, we have different sources. We have different places to store or to get data from. We have the Microsoft 365. We have the native integration to Dynamics, which is another solution, an enterprise solution from Microsoft. We have native integrations to Microsoft Azure. Azure is the source or the soldier, the hidden soldier behind all these services. It's the place that gives or allows or gives us the ability to use internet to store our services, to store our information. It is like the online service that is always holding everything. Microsoft Office 365 as an example of a backed source by Azure, also Dynamics or every sorry, or any solution that is online, software as a service is backed up by Microsoft. Sure, I'm talking about Microsoft solution. It is backed up by Azure. Let me give you an example that makes it easier for you. Imagine that you need to create an application that will be using OpenAI technologies. OpenAI, they are related to artificial intelligence. And you need, let's say, I'll give you a practical example, to collect the weather change or data about the weather change for Middle East. We have how many companies, how many countries, and we have different weather information coming for each of these countries. So I have here what is called big data. In order to have the availability or the ability to store such big data, I need an online storage. How can I get this online huge storage? I can do that. Of course, I'm talking about Microsoft now. I should go with Azure to have this big data store. I need also a factory, we call it a factory, to manipulate, to calculate, to process this information, maybe to split them, to analyze it, to do whatever processing over this information. How can I do that? I need what is called computing power. And I also need it to be very fast, very powerful. How can I get that? I can get that from Azure also. How can I display this information into Power BI? I need to connect Power BI with Azure, with Microsoft Microsoft Office or whatever. And of course, when we talk about Dynamics, I will just give you a very quick example about Dynamics with integration with Azure and Office 365. Imagine we're talking about a main company like Starbucks. Starbucks has thousands of branches all over the world, and it is receiving millions of records daily, of millions of transactions. So it will need an enterprise solution like Microsoft Dynamics Sales, and it would need an enterprise processing solution or data analysis solution like Power BI, and it will need a powerful place to store all this information within Azure integration. So collaborating or coordinating or mixing these three together will show us a simple interface as users, also as persons who work on the shop, or for managers that request insights or reports or visual reports about everything. The background soldiers would be Azure, would be Dynamics, and would be sometimes the Microsoft 365 tools. So mixing all these together will give us this simple, easy driven, and can be, let's say, dynamic, can be customizable with the power of all these tools. Hello again. I guess we are good to start. Are you back, all of you? Okay. So as we can see, we have different sources, and we have also resource from external services, and we still can use the process automations also in order to make things much easier for us. And then we can use and check how to integrate our solution within the flexibility of the Power Platform. We have different sources. We have processing or automation process that makes it easier for us regarding the user experience or the interface or that we are going to share with the clients. We have rich mobile power applications. We can use screens, desktops, or we can use Power Virtual Agents, analytics, Microsoft Teams, all the solutions we can add them to Microsoft Teams so they can be approached from Microsoft Teams and added to the applications within Microsoft Teams so they can be used with our environments. We can use also Microsoft projects to collaborate with each others. When we go to higher level, we go with Microsoft Dynamics, and all of that is of course within the Office 365 package. So we can do these steps, automate the document approvals in SharePoint. This is one example of how we can use or make use of the Power Platforms. We can create smart invoicing process solutions on incoming emails by using the automation. We can also stream day-to-day activities with connectors like Excel and Outlook, and we can improve of our overall employee productivity by automating repetitive tasks. These are the features or the benefits. We can also here, this is the place we can create collaborative solutions with teams. All the solutions or the applications that we can create, we can also integrate within Microsoft Teams. All we have to do is to add this application or publish this application. When we finish it, we have the ability to publish it also to Microsoft Teams and Power Platform. So I can use this application from within Teams or from within Power Platform, or from Microsoft Teams. All we need to go within the Teams is go to the applications, and we can see that this application is integrated within our environment. As you can see here, this is the Power Platform, or this is the Teams page. If I have an application that I have created, I just will find it here within my applications that I have created. Okay, you can log to that from here, and you can make it usable with all the clients or the teams that you have within your Teams and the Teams environment. Copilot, as I showed to you, it is the agent that is always available after I create this agent. I also can use it within any of my applications or web applications, or even within any of the websites that I have created. All you need to do is to create, as I showed you, that Copilot. You can add different abilities to that agent, and this is up to the level that you decide this agent to be on. So you can simply create that agent, add the topics that you want, and embed that agent or Copilot in your applications to provide users with the AI-powered experience. You can also easily create flows by telling the Copilot what is your flow you should do. Let me show that in practical way in creating an application. Okay, here I will close all these in order to remind you how to log in to Power Platform. I will close this one again, and I would start with make.powerapps.com, and here I have make.powerautomate. Power Automate. Okay, I want to show you the Copilot I'm talking about. That will make my life much easier. Okay. Let me make sure that you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Just confirm that to me. Any of you just confirm that you can see my screen, please? Okay, thanks, Kevin. Then here is the Power Platform. As you can see here, we have the artificial intelligence Copilot that is asking me to describe the application that I need to start creating. Okay, saying that use everyday words to describe what your application should collect. So I will say, I want to collect information about contacts. This is a simple everyday word I use. Okay, and I will go pressing on go. As you can see, here is a table for your application. It's now creating an example of the tables that it is suggesting. It is suggesting this information, the contact ID, the first name, the last name, the email, and the phone number. If you want to change or to add anything, as you can see here, the Copilot is helping me. Okay, please add address. Okay, okay, not all the contacts has been updated, so now it's adding the address. If you need to change something or do something else, you can just ask the Copilot that is helping me creating this application. As you can see, it is very easy to create a simple application, or maybe if you need to add more details, you can ask the Copilot to do that. Here is the Copilot that is helping me at the start of creating an application. How easy was that? It was very easy because the Copilot is helping me. Maybe I need to edit something before I finish the creation stage. I can do that here by editing the table properties. I will not do that. I will just simply ask it to create my application. Where do you want to create that? I want to create it in my own environment. So it's thanking me, and it is now creating the application for me. So, Kevin, this input screen is not present on our page. Maybe it is not allowed by your administrator, or maybe it is not added to your environment. You should ask the administrator to update that to you, or give you the permission to use this feature. As you can see, it is now creating the screens. It will be creating the tables and will be creating everything for you. Yeah, that's right, Simon. Maybe the level of license that you have doesn't have such a feature, but now I'm just showing you the features that you might have, or the experience that they might have whenever you're using Power Apps. But regarding each user, it might be the availability or the license that they are using. Okay. So I just need to explain it and show it to you. This is the application. It is now ready. This is the place what is called Power Apps Studio, where you can edit, delete, add, or do anything with the applications that you have. You can test this application by previewing it. This is the application. As you can see, it has the screen, it changes related to the fields that we have. So it has created an application in couple of minutes. I can add a new client. All I need to do is to add a new client ID. Let me choose 10, or I can make it also automatically. I would add myself. Now I have simply, I am the ability to add the phone number, and the address would be Beirut, Lebanon. And I'm done by pressing this, and you can see that my client or my new record has been recorded. We'll see the same thing with Copilot and Microsoft Power Automate, which allows me to create automated features. I need to create a new automation. I press on this. As you can see, we have the automated cloud flows. We have the instant cloud flow. We have the scheduled, which runs based on a schedule, on time schedule. This is the one I'm talking about, which is describe it to design it. Okay, here I would say that, let me say an example, give an example of an automated flow. When an email arrives, as you can see here, it is suggesting flows related to the things that I am writing. Okay. When an email arrives, send an email to the sender. When an email arrives, get the emails and forward it. When an email arrives, send an email if a condition is met. When an email arrives, forward it to the same people. When an email arrives, send it back to the sender. Whatever of these, I'm just randomly selecting to show you how it will be working on the flow. As you can see, this is the trigger. The trigger is the first action which will be triggering this flow to run, and the action would be done after the trigger is run. It will be send an email in Office 365 Outlook. This is fine for me, and I would be asking it to create the flow. As you can see here, the Copilot is explaining and displaying the things that will be happening. Okay, if I press here, when an email arrives, these are, if I want to control the parameters, the settings, or view the code, maybe I am an advanced user and I will need to edit anything in the code, I can do that. Here is send an email to whom, the parameters would set from to. It is now sending an email back to the person who sent this email. Maybe I need to add another person. Let's say again, Khaled at Microsoft. All you need to do is .com. Just write this email. Okay, here is the body that you want to. Thank you for your email. We will process your request and come back to you. So this message will be displayed for everyone who is sending an email, and to Khaled, because Khaled maybe he is the manager or the one who is responsible for processing incoming tasks. Okay. Now, invalid parameters, which is my email, because I'm not a member on this environment. Let me add a member tech. Oh, okay, I have new email task. Sorry. Tech. It should be fine now. Okay, now it is done. All you need to do is to run this, to save this flow. Okay. And trigger it to run whenever, and it will be running automatically whenever I receive an email. Okay, I can press on the test. Manually, it will be waiting an email to be received, and I would press on test and check my flow if it is going to run fine. Let's just wait for it to run. We'll go back again to the Copilot. Please, guys, if you have, let me check if any of you have any questions. If we want to change some data or delete it, or delete is easy, or create a new in Copilot. If we want to change some data or delete data or create data, you mean, in Copilot, of course we can do that, but we need to make the Copilot do such things, but we need to have them added in a professional way. I personally do not prefer to give the allowance or to give the ability to a chatbot to delete such things. If I'm getting the question, Mona, if you have more details about what you need to do with Copilot, let me know in order to answer you in a good way or in the best way that you want. So until now, do you have any more questions? Okay, let me go again with the presentation. So after I do all these, I have created an application. Let me show a manual way of creating an application just before we go to the topic of Dataverse. Let's check on our automation. So as you can see here, it is waiting for an email to be received in order to process this flow, to do this flow. I will stop it and will go to Power Apps. I will stop this one and I will create an application manually. Okay, so we'll go again. If we can, if you want, we can go with back. Do not save. I will not save this application. So I have created an application using the Copilot or the artificial intelligence. What if I need to create another application from scratch? I would go with create and select the source of data that I intend to use. If I'm going to create a blank application from zero, or if I need to create an application using the Dataverse, or maybe SharePoint, if you know SharePoint, and or from Excel. I can use any of these. Whatever I follow, I will have some steps to perform. I would go with a blank application. It will ask me, do you want to create an application, Canvas app application? Canvas app are always or mostly used to be used on mobile phones or tablets. So you can do that. Blank application based on a Dataverse, it means that it will be based on the Dataverse that we have within our own environment. And we have Power Pages, which are like the Power, it's like the websites we are going to create. I will just go simply with the blank Canvas app, press on create. How do you want it to be displayed? Is it a tablet or a phone? Let's select a phone and we'll call it ESE application. Now create. It will be creating a blank application. I need to set the source of these applications. As you can see here, this is again the Power App Studio. This application needs data or source of data to be added to it. As I told you, we have different sources. Let's go with here if you can insert, if you need to insert any of the objects, a table, a text, let's say add a table. Here I can select the things that I want. Any controllers, list box. As you can see, I can select any of the things that I want. It's now a vertical gallery. All these are the components of this screen that you see. As you can see here, I will show you here something. I will delete this one. As you can see here, we have the screens. This is a screen. I can also add a new screen for my application. I have now two screens, screen 1 and screen 2, and I also can add components to these screens. But what is the most important thing is that I should select a data source. Okay, I can select the different data sources. I can see the tables that are in the Dataverse. You remember we created or we have already a table that is called accounts and or contacts, or we have different names of different tables that are already on the Dataverse. Maybe I don't want to see all these tables. I would go with the connectors. Maybe I am connecting to an external source like Office 365 or SharePoint. And if I press here, I would see all the sources that I want. Let me explain an example of this. Maybe I am using this application, as I told you earlier, to get information from a weather website. Let's type here weather to see if we have anything related to that. As you can see, we have the AccuWeather, we have the MSN weather, we have the DPIRD weather. I don't know it exactly what is this. I never used it, but it is a weather data supporting connector. You can simply use the MSN weather and you can connect to that. I will not connect. I'm just showing you the example. Again, the data source, if I need to collect it, I can use it from here. I would use the contacts table that we have, because it is already obvious for us. Okay. It is now. Let's decide what fields do we know we need to use. Let's say active contacts. Okay. And we can just start using this application to see the contacts that we have. If maybe it is still empty, it doesn't have any fields. So this is a way to create an application. Here is the other screen. Maybe I need to have multiple screens, one for adding, one for deleting, one for reports, whatever screens that you want. All you need to do is to insert a new screen from here, or you can use templates. As you can see, you have to work a lot with this studio to know all the hidden areas of that. I'm just showing you the simple things in order to start. These are the basics. Whenever you start creating your applications, you will be understanding what I am doing and what I am showing you here. I will go again I will not save. Okay, I would go creating an application from Dataverse. Okay, I have this connection, or I can create another connection, but I am using already my connection, which is the Dataverse connection. I can select any of the tables that are here. We'll search for contacts. Okay, I would connect to it. Skip, and I will press on run. As you can see here, I have, this is my, sorry, my contacts application. It is empty because I have no records. I can add a new record. Okay, I just choose anything. Business phone. It is not well organized. Let me see it here. Why is it so? Okay, of course I can add any fields that I want. When I am here on this screen, as you can see, this is the gallery. I can add or edit. Here is the place where you can see the coding of each and every step of the contents that you might have. You might sometimes need to add things by yourself or remove, or sometimes you need to write some functions that you will be using. Okay, this is the main application. Okay, this is the application name. You can change that. The details screen. Here you can edit anything. You can add or remove any component to this table or to this screen. Okay, if you need to add anything, or you can add data here from the contacts table. Okay, you can add tables or data from other tables. And let me do something to show you. One important thing is you can change the layout from vertical to horizontal. This is up to you. And edit the fields that I am using here. I can add fields from the contacts table. I would show them. Let's say I need to add email address. Okay, oh, it's already there. Let's add something that's not here. Phone. And maybe I am going to add address. I'm just selecting things randomly, and will add them, and they will be available on my screen or the table. As you can see here. Okay. I have nothing added yet. So I will go here to the browser screen, to the edit screen. This is the place where I can edit. I added them there. I should have added them on this screen. Okay. Let me know. Is everything clear for you till now? Any questions? So far, so good. Okay, Ala, thank you for answering. If I need to create an application from a SharePoint, do you guys know what SharePoint is? Are you using SharePoint? Did you have the chance to use SharePoint? Okay, that's great. So I myself, every Excel table I create, I just export it to a SharePoint list. because it is a dynamic list. It stores data on the web directly. To use it, it's much better than using the tables that are in Excel, because they are the first and most important thing, that it is dynamic. I will show you now the connection that I want is to be with SharePoint. I need to use the SharePoint. SharePoint, where is the SharePoint? This is the SharePoint. So I can connect it directly to the cloud, or I can connect it to on-premise. This is an answer for a question, I guess, that I have been asked by one of you. So now I'm going to create a connection with my cloud service directly. I would need to log into my account, which is Tech Training. So now I can see all the lists of that I have on my online or on cloud site. So as you can see here, this is CTS. I guess it should be in this one. Yes, these are the lists that I have. Let me select any of these. Let's say this one. Okay, now it is creating a SharePoint list. Sorry, it's creating an application from one of the SharePoint lists that I have on my. As you can see, this application is running and it has information inside it. It took this information from my SharePoint. Okay, and it just showed to me in the application that I have created. Okay, these are my lists. As you can see, we have the بالعربي stock, the one that you have seen. This is the list. This one maybe is not a good example, but it's just an example, but it is a good example because it's showing the stock of something that we have. So we can now use it as an application, add, edit, delete, update, create more forms, more screens for that. Okay, now we'll go about Dataverse. We have already talked about that, but let's just remember that. What is in the Dataverse? What's in the box? As you can see, we have Power BI, we have the Power Automate, we have the Power Platforms, and we have the agents, and we have the connectors. When merging all of these together using the Dataverse, we have the built-in security, the authentication, the authorization, and the editing. Authentication means whom am I going to allow to use this information? The authorization, what he or she can do with that data. And the auditing is that I can know who did this or who did that. An example of this is, let's say that one day you come to your office, you see that a database or a table or a file has been deleted. Who deleted that? Everyone would say, no, it's not me. But with Dataverse, it is going to show me in the security auditing report that this person or this user is the one who deleted this file at this time, at this day. So this is the auditing tools that we have built in within the Dataverse. As you can see, we have different sources. We can apply business rules. We can duplicate the detection. We can have workflows. We can use also the plugins. All these are within the Dataverse. Related to data, we have the catalog, which is the table, the place where all tables are shown. So we can select the table that suits our targeted application. We have them already modeled, because first thing, what is meant by modeling? When you create a table and you need to use this table in an application, and it is connected to other tables, like we have table A and table B, table C, whatever was the number of tables that we have, we need to do what is called modeling, is that I connect these tables together by creating what is called relationships, one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many. These can be, you can see additional reading about them, but in simple words, I create a link between tables in order to get data from all linked tables. If I have table A and B and C and D, and I need to have a query or something or a report from within all these tables because they are connected in a way, I can do that when I have created what is called the relationships. And creating the relationships and designing the tables and deciding which is the primary key for each of these tables and the foreign keys, this is what is called modeling. So modeling is like pre-designing the database, and it is also available from within the Dataverse. Also, I have the data validation. I can use data validation in order to make sure that this data is valid, and come back again into common data modeling features. All these are available within the database. Storage, it is stored on the cloud. I can store it and use it like in tables that are related. I can use the features of files and blobs, which are features of Azure connectors. I can also store log files that logs the activities, logs the security activities for each of the users. I can have also search and find for the data, and what is called the data lake, which is the place where I have data lakes or big data containers that are connected together. I create the data lake when I have big data. In the example I gave you during the explanation, I told you about something related to weather coming from different countries where I need to store all this information for analysis, maybe for forecasting or whatever. So the data lake is one place of storage that stores large data. I can also integrate it within uh, any of these services that are related to integration and can be integrated within Dataverse. So, an overview of Microsoft Dataverse. It is a cloud-based solution that easily structures a variety of different types of data and business logic to support the connection or the interconnection between applications. So if I need to interact using different technologies within Microsoft solutions, a common place that makes this integration easy is the Microsoft Dataverse. In other words, I create the data tables in Microsoft Dataverse. Then I connect this Dataverse maybe to a simple application created by Power Apps. Maybe I can also connect it to Power Apps, to Power BI. I can connect it to Dynamics. I can connect it to Azure Online solutions or cloud solutions, like solutions related to artificial intelligence or to OpenAI. I can also create different types or different interconnected solutions. That's because the Dataverse allows different sources and can be used in order to be the engine to create these applications based on any of the previously mentioned solutions or cloud solutions created by Microsoft. So I design the tables and Dataverse, then I can choose what scope I need to use this data for. Again, I will represent the example I told you about, which is the data coming from different countries related to weather, or maybe I have a central application for all the clients, or sorry, for all the students in universities or in schools in the United Arab Emirates. I need to store their personal information, their educational information, their grades, their everything that I want. I would select Dataverse to store this information. What comes next is, how do I need to process this information? Maybe I need to process them or create application from Power Apps. Maybe I want to go further with Dynamics. Maybe I want to go with any cloud solution that is created by Azure or from Azure services. So Dataverse is the base. Dataverse is the place where I can set the tables, create the relationships between them, create the security features, and do whatever I want with them. Is this clear to you? This is very important for me to understand. That's why I'm asking you, is that clear? Is the idea of the Dataverse clear here? I guess yes. I hope yes, because no one answered till now. These are the connectors that I talked about. I gave you many examples of them. The data connectors can be used in Power Automate, in Power Apps, or in Logic Pages or Logic Apps. So the more connectors I have, the more powerful the Power Apps or the Power Pages can be, because they have different sources. I can now simply connect to more than 270 or 275 sources, like the weather sources, like sorry, Adobe Solutions working, like OCRs, like whatever sources I can use. I have, as I told you, more than 275 connectors with the ability to also connect, and I can also create my own custom connectors. It is important to note that you'll need in some connectors, you might need a paid plan to use the premium connectors with the diamond. One of you mentioned that, but my role is to explain what are the connectors and display to you the most used connectors, and it is up to you to use the level of the plan that you are going to use, the free or the paid plan. But as I told you, it's my role to show you that we have different connectors and you can use them to connect to different sources. We have 270 or 275 and maybe more connectors. You can just play around with these connectors to see how powerful the things are. The Canvas apps, I showed to you that these are the apps that are created on portable phones, mobile phones, or tablets. The model-driven are also applications that are connected to Dataverse or maybe to Excel or maybe to SharePoint. the Power Studio, you have seen that. And this is the end of today's session. I deeply hope that you have reached the level of understanding that I am trying to get to you. Was the explanation clear? Was the demonstrations enough for you? And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you, Ala. Thank you so much. Also, thanks for everyone and each one of you. So we can have a couple of minutes if you need to ask anything. If not, let me know. Thank you, Wafa. What is the difference between SQL and Dataverse? SQL is a database management system that is mainly being used on premises. Of course, we have a copy of SQL to be online by connecting it to it through Azure, but you'll need to create your own server, create your own tables, create your own forms, your own queries. But with Dataverse, it is already created, the tables are already created and already have the feature that I mentioned before, like the security and the data loss prevention and authentication authorization. But with SQL, you will need to do all of that. And just remember is that we do not have an online SQL version unless we use it as a service from Microsoft Azure. We'll see that you should have asked me earlier to start with Arabic, but don't worry, Wafa. We'll see something and we'll do things related to language in Arabic. Don't worry about that. We'll see. I will see that with Mr. Ammar, the organizers, the operation manager. We'll see about that. I guess he is the one who can answer you. But whenever you need any explanation in Arabic, just mention it and I will be answering everything related to that. And I don't have any problem. So let me just now say something. Are you all Arabic native speakers? So tomorrow we'll be talking in Arabic. It's okay with me. Is there or are there any of you who is not an Arabic native speaker? I don't know if Mr. Ammar is available or he can answer me now. If not, I will answer you related to that. But are all the attendees Arabic native speakers? No, not all.
It seems that all the attendees are.
No, Ammar, there are some who are not
There are
Arabs.
some, yeah. So we will see what we can do. Probably we can schedule another session in Arabic for the Arabic speakers. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you, Ammar.
Thank you, Khaled.
Okay, no worries about the language. We'll solve that. Don't worry about that. Mr. Ammar will provide a solution. So if you have anything related to what have been explained today, just let me know. I will give 3 minutes, 3 more minutes before I end the session. If it happens that you have any questions, I am here and I'm ready to answer.
Thank you so much, Khalid. I think we can end the session now.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank
everyone,
you.
for joining the session today, and looking forward to meeting you tomorrow, inshallah.